Hi there, Jamie Keat here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm taking a look at the Movavi Video Editor Plus. So if you're new to video editing, maybe you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or just wanted to edit some video at home of some travel videos, this could be the perfect place to start for you. Movavi Video Editor Plus is a very intuitive yet powerful video editor that allows you to start off simple but will give you a lot of opportunities to grow as you learn more about video editing. Just so you know, this is a sponsored video. They did reach out to me to ask to create this video, and I tested this program out and thought it would be a great one to show you. The link is down below where you can access the download for this. You can test it out for free, but if you decide to purchase, there's a 30% off discount code there too in the description. So let's get started with this tutorial on Movavi Video Editor Plus today. So I'm in my Movavi Video Editor Plus here, and I want to start editing a video. I'm going to bring in my media right away. So I'm going to be working in this format mainly here today, just like more of a typical video editing. But before I do that, I just want to show you another way they have to create some really quick videos. So if you want to make something really quick and you have your files ready, look at Create Quick Video up top here. What it does is, and I'm just going to click on this, grab a few videos here. I'll just add these 3 videos just for example. I could add images too. So I have these 3 different videos. You can see it's about 46 seconds long. All I have to do is go through next. I can say no theme. If I pick no theme, then I get to pick all these things as I go through to the export. Or if I wanted to pick one of these, it adds a theme in here with music and everything on it. So I can go next and hit play, and you can see with the video that I selected, it's added the music through it, and it's already creating a video really quickly. So again, I just would go through to export. You put all the files in, export it, and you have your video at the end. But you know, this is a great way to make a quick video. I want to focus more on this aspect of where you can get a little bit more detailed and get exactly what you want in your video. So I'm going to bring some video media in here, some media. So I'm going to click on the open media. You can see I can grab a media here, the same video that I grabbed before. Another way I could do this is I'm just going to bring it right from a folder. So if I had this dog here and I drag it over, it drags right in. If these are some audio files here, I could drag it in and it goes right to the audio. You can see I can drag this around to line it up to where I want. Any of these ones, I can quickly adjust them. So again, I could bring in multiple ones at a time. If I go back, and if I do select, I'll select these 2, an image and everything. You can see as I open it, it adds it right to the timeline. I kind of like bringing it in one at a time, unless you had them all numbered and knowing how you want. I like to bring it in one at a time. So that's how quickly it is to bring in your media. Let's start doing some editing, basic editing with this now. I'm going to start bringing in some videos so I can do some editing here. So I'm just opening up my file. And as I said, I like to usually drag them in this way when using this one. So I'm going to start with this Earth, and it's a rotation. So if I go over here, you can see as I play, it is the Earth turning here. Now, what I can do very quickly, if I didn't want it for the full length of it, I can quickly drag from the ends to trim it. So I could drag from this end, or I could drag from this end, and I have a shorter clip. So if I'm going to bring this over, you can see now that the clip is much shorter on this one. So the next thing, what I want to do is I'm going to bring in another file here, and I'm going to bring in my intro that I use. You can see it just placed it right next to it. If you want to, so I trimmed it that way. Now this is a very slow intro. What happens if I want to speed up the duration of this one? What I can do is when I click on this one, and I'm just going to go up to the clip properties here. If I go up here, you can see right away I could do volume, but speed is what I'm after. So I want this to run a lot faster. So I'm going to increase this by about 3 times. I'm going to go about close to 400%. And then as I go back and hit play now, you'll see that it's much faster. So I'm going to keep on adding some more clips. I'm going to go back to this right here. I'm going to go add media. And this time I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to drag it in. Actually, I'm just going to select it and have it go in here. So I have, let's say I've showed you already how to go cut from both ends, but you can actually take something out of the middle too. So what I can do is if I click on it and use the scissors and make a cut, and then I move over and make another cut, notice I have this chunk right in the middle here. If I'll click off and click on again, I have this, I can take this chunk out, I can change the order, or I can even delete it. So now there would actually be a chunk taken out of it. So you can actually edit and take things out from either dragging the ends or using the scissors and to cut out something in between. Whenever you're working on this, you can always use your Control Z to go backwards with your pass. So if I go back, you can see how it's undoing everything on this one. Another feature that I like, if you ever want to zoom up on a certain part of it, like a crop, you can focus on it. So it's just right here. So I'm going to click on crop. And again, all these things are so easy to use. As soon as you click on it, all you have to do is adjust what you want to crop. So if I go, I'm going to focus on the car here, on the cab, and hit apply. Now, if I watch this video again, you can see how everything is just zoomed right up on it. So I'm just trying to point out, when you click on these different icons here, how quickly you can make the adjustments once you see it, from the speed to cropping. Just go through this whole list right here and make the changes you need for editing. I'm going to bring in another one here. So I'm going to go back and bring in another media file. And this one is going to be right here. And notice this time, this one has audio underneath this one. So here's I'll play it. It's just at the beach here. So I'll hit play. And it just has the sound. So maybe I want to adjust that sound. So there's different ways. If I right click on any of these clips, you get more options. You can see how I can mute the clip and go through. I could detach the audio. So if I wanted to get rid of the audio, I could go through and detach it, and then it takes it away from the video track and puts it into here. So I could always just select it and hit delete, and now I have no audio on it. So I'm going to go back, just Control Z, put it back. The other thing I can do with this one, you see these lines here. If I go ahead and if I right click down here, you'll be able to see that I can do other things here. I can add a volume point. So if I add a volume point, now I can adjust these points here. If I go over top of these, you can see I can make it so at this point the audio would be dropping down on it to this point where it's almost gone, and then it goes up again. So it gets quieter, and then it's going to go back up on it. So you can quickly add more volume points to adjust the audio however you want. You can see if you click on, I'm going to bring in a song now. So if I bring this one in, and we'll go with this one right here, goes right into the audio track. If I click on it, same thing, volume point, I can do the same thing with the music to adjust it. So the more points I have at volume point, I have all these adjustments that I can go. So if I hit play on this now, it's going to get quieter. And then it's going to start to increase again. So you can make some very quick adjustments to your audio and videos through just either right clicking on these ones or just going through these icons to see all the different things. Everything is very self-explanatory. I just wanted to mention, to reset your volume points that you put on any of these, you can right click on again and reset all volume points, and it goes back to there. Whenever you click on any of these clips, just check out again all the different things that you can do you'll see them highlighted once you're clicked on a certain clip. So let's move into two more things with transitions and titles in here. So transitions are between different, whether it be an image or a video. In fact, I'm just going to get one more media file here, and this time this is just an image. So this is a picture right here of the Eiffel Tower. The nice thing with pictures, you can stretch them out for as long as you want. So if you want to put together a different amount of pictures, you can get them to play as long as you want just by stretching them out from either end of them. All right, so going back to transitions now. So if we have transitions with these, I'm going to go to this one here, and you can see we have all these different transitions. It's just listed under the features. I can go featured, I can go to all of them, and all you have to do is go through, and if I wanted to, we'll do barn doors, drag it down. You can see now if I back up and hit play, the transition is added to it. So just like that, very quickly on it. So if I double click on the transition, I can make some different style changes right through here. If I wanted the transition to be longer, or I could apply to all the transitions like this one, or I can go back, I could go freeze frame. I'm just going to hit OK. And just to show you can go pick different ones and then drag them between. So this is a video to a picture and it still works. So if you were putting together kind of more of a slideshow on it, it makes it an easy way with a bunch of different pictures, add your transitions with music down below. Now for titles, this again is extremely easy. I'm under the featured. You can go to all to see the big list that they have in here. So you can go through, and what you can do is just drag them down into the title track here. And once you drag it down, you can see, so if I want it at the beginning, I'll move this, I can move this anywhere I want, but if I want this to start, I'll go to it, I'll hit play, and you'll see the title. And this is why you use layers. A lot of times it'd just be in a different layer, but then in this case they have a different title track for this. So if I click on it, you can see, double click on it, I can go through and edit my my titles here. So I'm going to be, I'll just write text here, and I can go through and make the adjustments to any of this. You can see how I can change my my fonts different. I can change the size. I can bold it. I can adjust it differently, and I can even move this around too. So if I want these in different locations, you can see how you can just drag it if you don't want to use where the template wanted to be. But once you're done, you can move this anywhere you'd want. So adding these titles, you're just going to pick which ones you want and then drag it down onto the title tracks. Now that we're talking about different tracks, you can see we can when you open it up, you have your one audio, your video, and your title. But if you hit the plus right here, you can add many more of these ones. So if you wanted another video track, you can see right now I have one there. So I could go through and add another media. I'll just go grab this skateboarder here. I'm going to drag it over top. But just so you know, if you put something over top, if I play it, the only one that you're going to see is the top one. Now, when I show you some chroma key or green screen in a few moments, you'll see why we need to have layers on this one. But you can go through and make adjustments to these so that you can see the top one or both at the same time. So for example, if I go to this top one and double click on it, notice that I have the selection tools around this. Well, what I can do is I can go and create this smaller. So I'm almost like creating a picture-in-picture, and I can adjust this. So I could do this with multiple videos. I could put another video layer on top and almost have a split frame of all the videos playing. So if I go and play this, you'll see I have two different videos playing at once. And remember, you can adjust the properties even if it's going to making sure you go to the clip properties and changing the opacity of it. And if I go down, you can see now how it's almost see-through on this one. So make sure always go back to the clip properties. We have a lot of shortcuts through here, but to see all the things that you can quickly do to any of these, and make sure you have the clip selected on this one. The other thing I wanted to mention, so we were talking about adding tracks to the video, we can also do the same thing with the audio. So if I go down here and add another audio track, I can go back and I'll grab a different audio here. So add more of this, and I'll take this one. Now you wouldn't necessarily, oops, just insert it. If I put it on top, both would be playing at the same time, so it wouldn't sound very good. like so. So you'd want to make sure if you're laying your tracks over each other, you know what you're doing. And also with any of the audio, if you go back to these ones, double click on any of these, look at the audio. So a lot of times we're over on the video here, but look at all the different things that you can do with the audio. With we have an equalizer here that you can adjust to. We have our noise removal that you can go through. So if there was something that you wanted to try to take out background noise, and you can go through and have some audio effects, what you can see right through here. So go and check this out. Make sure you don't forget about the audio feature if you're adding a lot of audio to your different videos. So I already showed you how easy it is to add transitions and titles. Just to quickly touch on the filters here. Again, super easy to use, just drag over top. So for instance, if I have my video open here and I drag it down over top of it, you can see the effect that is added. And that's just by dragging it on top of it. So very easy to use. You can see all the different effects that you can drag onto it. The other thing I wanted to mention, you can go to the effects store right here and you can purchase more. I just have a window open that I'll show you. It just opens up to this one, and then you can see how you can purchase these ones. I actually have this one right here, Lifestyle Blogger Pack. So I downloaded it and put it in. So you'll see when if I go even back over to some of these other ones, like this bubblegum one was part of it here of a transition, or if I go over to titles, you'll see one like this one was part of it. All the ones that are kind of identified there with the new ones are part of that package, and the different filters also. So again, all those three features, very easy to use. Just when you know you have your kind of your videos lined up, just start adding, dragging it over on top of the clip that you want to add it to. I just want to mention some of the other features that's built into this, very easy to use before we get to some green screen. And then, I'll show you how to export it at the end right to your YouTube channel or to your computer. But you can see as we move down here, we have stickers. Now these stickers, if you go to all, you can go through and you're just going to drag them down. So if I drag it on top, it goes into the title track, and you can see we have that on top. So if we go back to it, if I double click on it, I can adjust this where I want. I can make this larger, and so yeah, you can just make those adjustments and even put the multiple ones on. The other thing is we have our callouts. So this is good if you ever want to bring something to point something out in a video. So if I just delete this one here, and let's say if I wanted to point, I'll just use the this one right here. So if I drag it in, I can grab the points and I can point it at something that I want. So if I wanted to draw the attention maybe to the car for some reason, I could point on it, and then to make sure that's where I wanted my audience to look at. But again, play with all these features that are great to use. Another thing, a lot of times in videos, you might want to be able to blur out somebody. So in this video, let's say if you wanted to blur out these people right here, if I go to here, and then I'm going to go over to conceal here. So I'm going to pick those. What it allows me to do is if I click on this one, oh, I better click on the right one here, click on the actual video, you can see now that I have an option. So if I'm going to drag it through here, so I could go through and I could make this smaller, I could move it to, so if I know they're walking out that way, I could conceal the people in it. So again, just all these features that are easy to use. Make sure you're just double clicking on the clip, and you're going to see all the different things, as I mentioned, from here, but you'll see everything from here too. So one more thing that I just want to show you, actually two more things. We have Chroma key. So if I go back and grab, so Chroma key with green screen, I'm going to grab, I'll grab this footage again. So I'm going to bring this one in here, the New York one. I'm going to bring in also my chickens that I have. And when you work with green screen, you need to put the green screen one on top. This will be my background right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one, and over here I'm going to go to Chroma key. So when I click on Chroma key, I want the green to disappear, so I only see the background. But notice if I click the green and just click on the green and apply, and the chickens are there just like so. So I can go back to these again, and you can see I can make the adjustments to the chickens. I can make, just like I showed you before with it, I could create them, move them around, put them on, we'll put them on the road over here, and now I have these chickens on the road. So again, chroma key, super easy to use in this. Take a look at all the different ones through here. We also have animation. So what animation does, if I pick a clip and then I go over to my animation here, so I'm just gonna click on this one, animation, and I can make things move around. So if I drag this on top, you can see I can adjust this too. I can how long I want it to happen by, but if I go ahead and hit play, you can see how the video comes in. Now I can adjust the keyframes here. I could make it shorter so that it would adjust quicker, but everything is just drag over it. So I find the animation versus a lot of other ones, this is super easy to use. You just, again, drag them on top, and you can go, remember, Control Z goes back if you need to delete any of the ones to get it back to normal. So now we're almost done. I've showed you a lot of the fantastic features in here, how intuitive this program is. Let's say we wanted to export and we had this finished movie like this. What you're going to do, we have export in the bottom right hand corner here. If you look up top, you could also make sure you save your project here, so you could save your project so you can go back to it at any time. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit export. So when I hit export, a lot of times for me when I'm making movies, I'll connect right to my YouTube channel because it's something I'm uploading, and you can do that down here through the share, and then you would just sign into your YouTube channel, and then it's going to make sure that it's on the right settings. You can see if I wanted it to be a video and it's MP4, if I go to advanced, you can see these are actually the YouTube settings, so the H.264 and the 1920 by 1080p for your settings, and then you would just, but you could make sure you have everything exactly the way you want. And then if I go ahead and hit start, this is where it's going to be saved. So if I wanted to give it a different name, so I'll just call this test, I could browse it to a different one. So maybe I wanted this on my desktop, and I could go ahead and hit start. Now it's processing that movie that I just created. So this has been, I've thrown a lot of information about Movavi Video Editor Plus here, but the main thing I want to get across is that this is just a very intuitive video editor, but it can do a lot. So it's a great place to start and even grow from. So let me know what you think. If you do test it out, download the free one, test it out and see what you would like about it or don't like. If you want any other videos about this product, please let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching this week, and I'll see you next time on Teacher's Tech.